Hi folks, Sky North here. I'm just heading out. I'm going to do a little hike into town. It looks a little shaky, doesn't it? Just holding it. I don't have it on my selfie stick, so it's a little harder to hang on to. But I'm just taking a little hike into town. Try to get about a couple miles in. Of course, doing my cardiovascular rehab, got to get those miles in each day. So I'm going to take a little hike into town, and maybe I'll film a little on my trip and just have a little discussion with you folks and post it up on the channel. So this is Sty heading out, get some hiking done. Hang in there, folks. Talk to you in a bit. Well, folks, here I am. I'm about halfway through my walk, I guess. Just on the edge of the downtown area here in Ashland, Wisconsin. You can hear all the traffic. There's a little bridge here that crosses a big ravine. It's got a small creek that runs through it. And I was looking over the edge here, looking at all of the trash and garbage along the creek bed here. Maybe by the time another couple weeks goes by, I'll have the energy back as I recover. I'd like to go down in there and pick some of this trash up. It's a beautiful little creek, nice peaceful little spot down there. Climb on down in here from the bank over there. Come on down in to this area and maybe clean it up a little bit. Nice little spot down in there to sit by the creek and just relax, and maybe throw a little pocket lunch in my coat and sit down there and have lunch some afternoon. But I've gotten so I like to take this route and come onto the main street here just so I can oh, excuse me. Part of heart recovery. Whenever you feel like coughing, cough. They keep telling me, make sure to cough. It's good for your heart, good for your lungs, good for your chest and muscles. So once in a while you'll hear me coughing. But back to what I was saying, it's a beautiful little spot, and I like to, even though it's on Main Street, it's the only real spot where it crosses the creek. It's the only road that I'm aware of that makes a crossing like this here. So I like to swing by here and cut up onto Main Street and cross this bridge each time I'm out hiking, just so I can hang out here by the creek a little bit. Every day, looking down here, wanting to jump off and clean up down there and hang out by the water. Well, that'll be down the road a little bit, another week or two before I've got that kind of energy, I think, and strength back in my legs to be climbing up and down banks, down the creeks. But it's these little pockets of nature, undisturbed, that I think this is all city property. Looking at the city map, it doesn't look like it's privately owned at all along this creek here. So so I don't think there's a problem with me going down and exploring around in the woods a little bit here. But it's kind of neat that even in a large town like this, 10,000 people plus, that you can find these little pockets of nature. And even though you hear all of the noises of the world going on around you, you're kind of getting out of it just to get down in these woods and explore and relax and And I'm one where I'm just not used to all the traffic noise, and you hear noises of people and activities going on, and I'm used to being far enough out in the woods that you just don't hear that. Well, I noticed here I can hang out by this bridge and I can hear all the birds, a lot of birds in this area, squirrels and other critters. And I know from years back I used to fish at the mouth of this creek. It dumps out into Lake Superior, and this creek is frequented by black bear. A lot of black bears wander up and down this creek. So oddly enough, right smack in the middle of town, you got lots of wildlife coming through here. A lot of white-tailed deer also. I'm surprised I haven't seen any, because this town has a lot of whitetail that wander around town. The residents here, I think, like to feed them. So they do well here in town. So maybe one day I'll catch some whitetails down here in the creek bed. But here I am at this little creek, and it's time for me to get going again, keep moving. Got to keep the blood flowing, you know. So I'll shut her down for now and maybe pick up a little on the way home. Okay, later, folks. Came across this nice little town park, this little city park here. And it's Sunday afternoon, and not a soul in the park. It's a nice sized little park. Lots of benches, a little gazebo, lots of things for kids to play on. Good old fashioned playground. Now, when I was a kid, a playground like this in our town, where I grew up, on a Sunday afternoon, it would be busy as can be. All of the kids in the neighborhood by this time of the day would be hanging out here on the swings and the slides and the jungle gym and enjoying the outdoors, with lots of parents hanging out at the picnic tables and the benches and visiting, catching up on what's going on in the neighborhood. And now today, totally vacant. Beautiful little park, totally vacant. Nobody out enjoying the outdoors. It's a beautiful day. It's about 70 degrees, and there's no reason for people not to be out here enjoying this, except their lives have become so busy and they're rushing to do things that don't allow them to get outside and socialize and enjoy the outdoors. They are too busy. They're at home watching football, and the kids are all playing video games and surfing the internet and doing anything and everything except getting outdoors. And parents are secluded in their homes with a few friends maybe, watching the ball game. Now, I don't have any faults against watching a good ball game, but like I said years ago, it was never that way. We'd all be outdoors enjoying a day like this. The whole neighborhood would. And this is a huge residential area. And not a soul on a Sunday afternoon in the little town park. It's sad. It's like those times are fading away. I'm going to take a different route here. Like I say, I like to turn off of the main drag, take some strolls down streets that aren't usually traveled. This is the back of a big facility down here. I don't quite know what they do. I think it's a recycling kind of center. But yeah, it is. I've never, all these big, beautiful neighborhoods. but nobody's outdoors. Nobody's in their yards. Nobody's enjoying this great fresh air. Beautiful day. And it's not that they're not in town, I mean, not home. I see cars parked in every driveway. So it's not as if people aren't here. They're just not out. They're just not out and about. If people are out and about, they're in their cars going someplace. Not one of them takes the time to slow down and enjoy the world. Well, it's a shame. It's their loss. So, well, I'm going to turn here and head towards my place, which is just a few blocks down to the right. So I'll catch you guys later. Well, folks, there's the main drag through town, main state highway that runs through town. This is the back alley heading to home, at least my temporary home. And I'm just about there. We'll be coming up on my backyard. I should say my son's backyard. So my backyard for another month and a half probably. But yeah, this is the back way into our place. It was a good walk. I want to thank everybody for tagging along and taking a nice stroll through town with me. I think what I'll do is I'm going to take a peek up here around the corner so that I can take a shot down towards Lake Superior to show you how close I really am to the lake. Now next week, during the week, I'm hoping to be able to strike out and get down on the lakefront and do some hiking. And we'll do a video about that. But there's the lake. Hope you all can see it way down there. But that's what's called Chequamegon Bay on Lake Superior. It's the inner bay around the Apostle Islands. Beautiful area. And I'd say the lake is less than half a mile from where I'm standing. And we'll get a day or two down hiking around that lake next week. But this is going into our backyard. Kind of a interesting little trail coming through. And then it just opens up a little around the house. Just a tiny, nice little backyard. Our shed out back, where I sit and do a lot of videos now. A lot of my videos where I'm just sitting and chatting with you folks will be happening right there in those chairs. And we got some pines and a cedar growing in here. Big arborvitae growing next to the house. There's buckthorn and there's lilac bushes and there's a nice plum tree in here that nobody was touching the plums, and I picked one the other day. They're almost all off the tree now, but you can see there's a few still up here, and they are excellent. Oh, they are absolutely excellent. Tough, bitter outer skin, but the flesh inside is just awesome, just wonderful. And then we have a couple of big hazelnut trees here, and the squirrels have gone crazy over the hazelnuts this year. I'm not going to try to harvest any this year. Maybe I'll come up and visit the son next year and harvest some hazelnuts, but this is it. We're home. So again, I'd like to thank all you folks for taking a little walk with me. And that's one of Stye's typical daily hikes. I try to do 2 long ones like that every day, and then 2 shorter ones every day. So 4 walks a day, 2 of them that are about 4 miles each, and then 2 that are about 2 miles each. So you know, I like to get about 10, 12 miles of hiking in. And you all hang tight, and hopefully I'll get some more videos up this week now that weather's being good. I'll do some Stye stories and maybe some informational videos. We'll see what happens. But Stye's back in the business. Love sharing with you guys. So this is Stye North, checking out for today at least. And you all have a very nice day. Bye-bye.